Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of On the Couch Book Reviews. Today, we are doing a review of the book, of the book, Dear Martin by Nick Stone. Now, th- this book is about Justice, who is a kid, um, who is basically, he's going through college and everything, and like he basically, so it starts out with him. He's at a party. Well, he's not at a party, but he's walking down the road, and he finds his girlfriend, his ex-girlfriend, drunk outside of her car. So he tries to help her back into the car. He's helping her, and she's just like, "Nah, I'm not feeling you." Like they're just trying to talk or whatever, and so he's trying to get her in the car, and so this cop rolls up on him, and he helps. He's in the back of the car with her. He's in the back of the car with her, and like basically this cop rolls up on him, drags him out the car, puts him in handcuffs, and he's like, "Whoa, hold up, man! I was just trying to help her." Now, naturally, it. So Justice is a black dude, and Mello. I think Mello is like a. She might be a straight up white girl, or a. She might be a white girl, or a biracial, like half white, half black. I'm not sure. I don't remember what it said exactly, but I think she was a white girl. So basically, he gets put in cuffs and shit, and like it's just like, damn, man. It's like, and the cop didn't want to hear none of it. He's like, shut up, boy, shut up. I don't want to hear what you gotta say. Just shut the fuck up. Blah blah blah, and so he gets out, and so they go to school. They go to school the next day, and they're having a discussion about um how things are equal and stuff. How black people have it just as good as white people now. It's not segregated like it used to be and everything. And Justice is like, well, if everything was so good, there wouldn't be stuff like police brutality and shit going on, or stuff like that, and stuff like that. So, um, I tend to agree. Like, I'm a white guy, but I mean, it's like, yo, I feel like if I mean, things are a lot better than they used to be, yo. Cause I can't imagine living in that time where shit was like it was, where you had like um you know segregated water fountains and everything, man. Cause some of my best friends are black, yo. Like, for real, a lot of my friends, some of my friends that I went to school with, they're um they're black, whatever, and it's just like, wow, man. I can't imagine how that would be, or that would feel to be put in that situation, because those are my homies, man. And I'm like, yo, it's crazy to think how that would be. But anyways, on to the next part. So um him and Sarah Jane are partners. Now, Sarah Jane is a white girl, and like, they're partners on the debate team. So um they're getting ready for the debate team, and they argue that they're arguing about equality and stuff. But here's the fuck part. So Jared and some other dudes. These are some white dudes now. These are white guys. Jared, Tyler, and Manny, his best friend Manny, is black. But see, he's more hanging out with the white dudes, and thinking that everything they're doing is cool. And Manny, or Justice, is like, yo, Manny, how can you sit here and be cool with these dudes when they're saying all this crazy shit? And so one of them had planned this thing for Halloween to go as a different stereotypes. So Justice was the thug. Uh, Manny was like this dude in loafers and all kind of shit. Um, and basically, um, so and then Blake, this is another white dude, Blake. Now he showed up in the worst costume of all. This dude showed up in a Klansman's costume, and I'm like, bruh, what the fuck is wrong with you? I mean, damn, like, I mean, bruh, you picked the worst costume you could have picked. Like, seriously, homie? You, like, and he even addresses them all. He's like, what's up, homies? And like, bruh, and even Justice was like, what Klansman do you know that will call a bunch of a bunch of, you know, and what Klansman do you know that will hang around black folks? I mean, you know, I'm just making a point. That's what happened in the book. So, so that happened, and like everybody, you know, Manny and Justice are just like, you know, they ain't comfortable with it. They like, nah, we ain't really feeling the shit, cuz. We ain't really feeling this shit at all, bro. But like, yeah, I mean, it is what it is, and you know, so then, um, so they're, so then basically, so jump forward to the debate scene. Basically, Sarah Jane and Justice, they do their debate thing. So that happens. I ain't gonna tell y'all what happens there. So then, basically, what happens is basically, next, um, so damn, what did happen next? Oh yeah. So then, man or Justice goes to I think it was Jared's birthday party, and him and Manny. Oh yeah, nah. So at the debate team thing, so they something happens. So him and Sarah, he tries to kiss Sarah Jane, and she ain't really having it, and like, so she walks off. So he gets in his feelings and shit. So like, you know, he's in his feelings and stuff. So Manny comes over and is like, dog, you know, we gotta go. We gotta get ready for I think it was either Blake's party or Jared's party or somebody's party. I think it was Blake's party. But either way, it was one of the white dudes they hung out with. So so basically, so they go to this party, and before they go, uh Justice is already drunk. So they get there, and you know, he sees some stuff that he doesn't really agree with. Like, there's some posters on the wall. There's some garden gnomes. I don't know what the garden gnomes had to do with it, but so anyways, he confronts him, and he's like, dude, why is all that shit all over your walls, and blah 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 blah. And he's like, dude, that ain't the white Blake was like, that ain't had nothing to do with me, bro. That was my mama and everything. And he's just like, you know, and they started talking about the N word, and they was like, and he was like, how can you sit there throwing around the N word and da 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 da. And he's like, it's not like you own it, Justice, and nobody owns words, my guy, and blah 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 blah. So then they end up getting into this fight, and everybody just like, Justice wakes up, and he's got, you know, Blake's on the floor, and I think it was somebody else on the floor. Like, he just busts them out, like he just decks them all and shit, and like, and he wakes up the next morning. He's drunk as shit, and like, he's got a bad hangover, and Doc comes in, and Doc is there one of their teachers, and like, so Doc comes in and it's like, yo, he's like, bruh, nah. And like he and the whole time he's doing this, he's writing these letters to MLK to see if MLK's teachings still have anything to do with today's society, or do they still fit into today's society. That's why the book is called Dear Martin. So then so so then a few days later, him and Manny are riding around. They was gonna go hiking and stuff, and so they didn't end up going hiking. So they just riding around jamming music, and the music's loud. You know how people like their music loud and shit. So this dude pulls up beside him and he's like, "Y'all turn that damn music down." It was a white dude. He's like, "Y'all turn that shit down." And he was like, "All right, just turn it down." And so the truck, they thought the truck was just gonna go away, and so um so he still, the dude is still telling them to turn the music down. He's like, "Y'all N words, turn that shit down. Blah 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 blah. Y'all just turn that down, man. And stuff." So it's like and Manny was like, "Nah, fuck you. This my car. I ain't gotta do shit." So next thing you know, boy pulls out a gun. Bop 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 bop. And they get shot. One of them ended up in the hospital, and one of them ended up dead. And that's all I got for y'all, man. Book is called Dear Martin by Nick Stone. You want to read it and find out what happens, because there's a lot more twists and turns in the book. But who lives and who dies, I don't know. Y'all gonna have to read the book to find out. So, hope y'all have enjoyed the video, and I'm gone. Peace. Oh yeah, and before I go, man, like I always say, man, do what you do your thing, and always make sure you stay on top of your game. Yeah, dig. Peace.